can't have a gang anymore because people try to shoot each other. So what else are you gonna do? You get your buddies together and you play some rock and roll music, you know. That's the fun part.
You have to hang out, you have to meet people, you have to become a part of the scene, you know. And that's actually one of the things that I think is cool about being in a rock and roll band, is being part of the scene. It's just really cool American rock and roll. And I think that's what drew me the most.
When everyone's already on the same wavelength, you can cut through a lot of that crap and get down to writing and arranging a song and then rehearsing it and getting it done really fast. On the road to seek what I find and never let it show. I mean, it's like a muscle car, you know. It's a lot of fun, but you got to keep pouring your soul into it.
I just had a lot of fun, and it was for the first time. It felt really, really good, and it felt, you know, like, wow, this is pretty amazing.
One of the lessons that Seattle music brought to the world in the early 90s, the music, I don't know if the world got it, but what the bands were doing here, the ones that were successful, was they would create for their own self-interest. If the music made them happy, if it responded to something they felt, that's the way they would write, that's the way they would perform. Their clothing wasn't meant to show off anything, their songs weren't meant to show off everything, it was just for fun and to be creative. And people did what they felt in their hearts. Unfortunately, I think what the world got out of that, especially the big record companies, is, oh, if you want to be successful like a Seattle band, you have to sound like Nirvana, which is totally the wrong lesson. Nirvana just sounded like, you know, whatever they dreamt up in their own horrible little basement.
Grunge became kind of like a bad word. Nobody wanted to be everyone sold their flannel and cut their hair at that time. Now it's just, because there's been sort of the lack of attention, things have been able to sort of grow up naturally, like someone's manicured yard that has been left to fallow.
Seattle's always been different. I think the grunge thing was just a minor little blip on what was going on in Seattle. There's always been a really eclectic group of music and musicians.
They might see me, I might be them, we'll never let them know. I'll take my wine in my roses on the road.
There's no longer the pressure of all these bands coming here to be huge and the next thing. And so people are kind of back to playing, well, we're probably not going to get the big deal, so let's play what we want.
Someday see me, like a beautiful. Someday see me.
Seattle whole music scene, whether it's like grunge or punk rock or Soundgarden or Zeke or the Walkabouts or whatever, that, to me, at least my perception, is a common thread that runs through it, is a real organic approach to whatever people are playing. It's like homegrown, to use a term.
Someday you see me.
Way better than trying to work for a living and go home and watch TV.
I love my Rat, love my Motley Crue, loved all that good stuff.
And that was pretty much the bottom line, was that it seemed a lot of fun. And these guys looked like they were having the time of their lives doing it, so I was like, wow.
He also knew that it would get him chicks, too.
You gotta pick up the phone and you gotta tell people that it's time that they book Shinola.